Hey guys, what's going on? It's Leo. So I want to take a look at AMC today. Some of y'all that have been following my channel for a while, we've been talking about this cycle theory and with the fib time projections. And, I've heard some talk of a prolonged squeeze. I've heard people talk, just mentioning it on Reddit and just around the community in general. So what I thought I would do is something different today. So we're going to take a look at a purely hypothetical. What would a uh, prolonged squeeze look like, assuming that the cycle theory will continue on in the history where we have these run ups and then we have these consolidation periods. Maybe they're cashing up. Maybe there's market halts. There's been talk of that 30-day market halt possibility. So there's a lot of reasons as to why it could end up getting prolonged. And the reason I want to go over this is not FUD. To me, this shouldn't be considered FUD. This shouldn't be scary. I think it helps to have a roadmap of possibilities as to how this thing could unfold. The one possibility is that on this next run up that we have, we get up there into the hundreds of dollars, and they're just like, you know what, done, and they start liquidating everything, and it just rips, and it keeps ripping and ripping. But a prolonged squeeze is a very real possibility, and I think that it's good to have a roadmap of what could happen. It's like if you're in a car on a long road and you're a kid and you're asking your dad, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" Well, if you have a map and you know where you're going, you know, prices run up. Okay, well now we just got to take a left. We got to take a left turn, right? We got to stop at Bob's house real quick to run an errand. Okay, just consolidating, consolidating. All right, we're back on the road again, back on the road. Oh, I need to stop at McDonald's, get some lunch, consolidating, consolidating. Okay, we're back on the road again. So I think having a good perspective of how things could unfold, I think it's very healthy, and I think it prepares people for all possibilities. So what I have done here is I've added a price channel, right? Something that could contain prices to give us, you could think of this kind of like the road of the journey that we're on. And then looking at the prior price action, what I've done is this first run up that we had from the low, you'll notice that to our peak, it was roughly 1,300% increase. And then the following run up in June was the same. So measuring from the low here up was about 1,300% increase. And so I'm assuming that this trend will continue to repeat itself. And so what I've done is I've taken a picture of the prior cycles and I've overlaid it, right? So now if we have a 1,300% run up from our low here of, call it $29 up, that would bring us to 400 bucks. Okay, interesting. So now let's say we get another retrace, right? So let's say for whatever reason, maybe they do a 30-day market halt, or they're, I'm not exactly sure how it's going to unfold, but maybe they just don't have the cash, right? And they have to halt trading to gather cash to be able to buy back those shares. Maybe they end up going to the Fed and they need a bailout. And we know how the government is. That's slow. Maybe it takes time for this, for them to get it approved. Debating back and forth from, the two sides of government, or two political parties in government, deciding what to do. So maybe that derails it out. We just don't know how or what will cause it. I'm just looking at what it could look like. So, maybe we're consolidating, just hanging out at McDonald's. We get another run up, another 1,300% pump, right? So that would bring it to us. And this is assuming that the cycle repeats with these 1,300% roughly price increases from the low. So, that'd bring it up over to over $1,000. Right. So now maybe they've run out of money again and they're still needing to buy back these shares. Right. And, for whatever reason, right, they start to consolidate again. Maybe there's a 1 month halt in there. Right. So then it runs up again. Right. Which brings us up to another 1,300% increase, which would bring it to around $7,200. Again, it's all hypothetical here. But I think that it's very, very possible. So, for some of y'all that have been following, you should be familiar with the fib time. measuring this first little one wave, right? We can project where the peak is going to be based on what's previously happened. So assuming that this will repeat, we would be looking for the peak to be coming in here very, very soon. So the next peak, roughly, if cycle's going to repeat based on this fib time, we would peak out, what is it showing? It's November 11th, roughly, or maybe a little bit after, somewhere around there. Okay, interesting. So now we can do that again. Assume that we get that pump to 400, comes back down, right? Draw out our fib time. Okay, there's our next peak, which looks like that'd be March of 2022. So this coming March. Okay, interesting. That would bring us up over to $1,000. So come in here, measure up. Okay, so now we have another one. That would be, well, it's going too far out into the history, but you get the idea. That'd probably be sometime in late summer or fall of next year. Doesn't mean that it's going to play out this way, but I wanted to lay out a possible roadmap. Let's see if there's anything else I could talk about with this. I'm just going to clean this up just a little bit here. It gets a little bit confusing. Get so many laser beams going across the screen here. Sometimes I confuse myself. I know a lot of people want to get the squeeze now. Now. Give me the money now, right? It's my money. I want it now. But, at the end of the day, that's out of our control. When it happens, it's out of our control. If it happens, it's out of our control. The only thing that we control is holding our position. So, try to take solace in focusing on what you can control. That's really, that's really all we can control. We can't control when they cover. We can't control how fast they cover. In my opinion, it's just a matter of time. I think we're coming up here really quickly on this next move, yeah, it's good. It's looking good in my opinion. Now that I've explained this chart, I'm running out of things to say. Well, guys, I think I'll talk to y'all in the next video, but hopefully this gives y'all, just an interesting little thought experiment, kind of seeing what it could possibly look like as this thing unfolds. One thing, if it does take longer like this, you get the advantage of long-term capital gains tax. So, what is that, like 20% or something? So, you make more money by holding it longer. So, if it does happen, try to look at the bright side of it. You're getting paid to hold it a little bit longer. Think of it like getting paid a dividend. You're saving, what is that, 20% or something, or 15% on tax, something like that. So, try to look at the upside, look at the positives if this were to happen. I'm not saying it's going to. I think what's more likely to happen is that once it gets into the hundreds, I think that's going to be enough's enough, and they're going to be forced to close their positions, and this thing is just going to rip until it's over. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all in the next video. If you found this content valuable, please like, share, and subscribe.